we want? When do we want it?
Lucy ist auch am Start. Lucy, wie findest du es bis jetzt?
Der Matthias, der putzt gerade seine Zähne. Der Roman tut nix. Ich habe gerade.
Er ist einfach Einhorn.
Er ist einfach so. Ich habe gerade noch ein Video zu Ende bearbeitet und ja, wir gehen jetzt gleich zu Fridaysforfuture. Wir nehmen ganz viele Dinge mit, zum Beispiel einen wunderschönen GoPro Gimbal. Wir nehmen zum Beispiel mit die Kamera, wir haben sogar 2 Kameras. Ich filme gerade zum Beispiel wieder mit einem Gimbal, die man im Spiel sehen kann. Okay, wir sehen uns dann später wahrscheinlich unten am Bahnhof. Okay, wir sind jetzt angekommen.
Fangen wir schon an, was soll der direkt? Wir brauchen im Moment alles. Versucht zu helfen, da. Ich verstehe es auch nicht.
Runter mit der Kohle, hoch mit dem Klimaschutz, 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 runter mit der Kohle.
Vielleicht machen wir das doch gleich beim Gehen, hinter diesem großen Frontbanner einzureihen. Okay, perfekt. Bis dahin, schreit einfach noch Parolen, seid laut, wir werden nicht leise sein.
What do we want? When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now! Kohle, stopp! Hopp, hopp, hopp! Kohle, stopp! Hopp, hopp, hopp! Kohle, stopp! Kohle, stopp! Hopp, hopp, hopp! Kohle, stopp!
Laola-Welle.
Nie wieder Kohle, nie, nie wieder Kohle, nie wieder Kohle, nie wieder Kohle, nie wieder Kohle, nie.
Der erinnert mich an
Nie
Kajüte.
wieder Kohle, nie.
Kajüte.
Jetzt gleich eine Laola-Welle. Dafür müssen wir uns erst alle hinsetzen. Übt das noch ein bisschen. Irgendwann könnt ihr das. Okay, sehr gut, wir schaffen das ganz kleinen Moment noch. Wir bereiten uns noch drauf vor. Also, ich hoffe, ihr wisst alle, wie eine Laola-Welle funktioniert.
Roman, Elias und Antu, wie findet ihr es bis jetzt? Ich nehme dich mal nicht
geil,
mit.
aber mit Trompete ist so anstrengend.
Mega geil, Posaune ist super anstrengend. Du machst aber gute Stimmung. Okay, Roman, wie findest du es?
Es ist halt scheiße heiß. Man läuft sehr viel, aber es ist trotzdem einfach
Willst du Einhorn mal ausziehen?
Ich will Einhorn mal anziehen.
Bist du pinkes oder blaues Einhorn?
Blau, komm.
Okay. Wie findest du es bis jetzt?
Hatte einfach nur Hunger.
Hunger, okay. Hunger. Wir gönnen uns Asian-Noodles. Lucy ist auch am Start. Lucy, wie findest du es bis jetzt? Ja, die Demo ist gut. Es geht so ab, einfach nur. Leute, in Aachen, da verpasst ihr definitiv was, aber ihr habt ja jeden Freitag Zeit, weiterzumachen. Neue Sticker am Start, neue Unterschriften, neue Gurke.
What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? 40 Füße hier vorne. What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it?
Schreiben lassen. Es ist eine Frage von Solidarität, ob wir schweigend daneben sitzen, wenn in der U-Bahn das schwule Pärchen neben uns beleidigt wird, oder ob wir stattdessen dazwischen gehen und pöbeln. Es ist eine Frage von Solidarität. Wir eingreifen oder wegschauen, wenn eine Fremde sexuell belästigt wird. Ob wir es schweigend ignorieren, wenn die Bullen am Bahnhof mal wieder Menschen aufgrund ihrer Hautfarbe kontrollieren, oder ob wir dazwischen gehen. Ob wir an der Ladenkasse stehen bleiben, wenn jemand beim Klauen erwischt wird, oder ob wir dem Ladendetektiv nicht lieber doch günstig im Weg stehen. Es gibt viele weitere Formen von Solidarität und Möglichkeiten, Privilegien zu teilen. Beispielsweise können wir das Privileg, in diesem Land leben zu dürfen, durch eine Papierehe mit einem Klimaflüchtling teilen. All diese Dinge, die ich hier aufgezählt habe, sind nicht völlig ohne persönliches Risiko. Das hat durchaus seinen Grund.
Leute, wir sind so viele, man kann nicht mal das Ende sehen. Das ist richtig krass.
Hello Germany. Hello Aachen. Guten Tag. Nice to meet you all. I'm really glad to be here, even if you don't know who I am. No, I'm really glad to be here because we need to build a European movement now. We need to build a worldwide movement actually, but we can start with Europe. Thanks to Greta, Luisa, Anuna and many others. You started that work, but now we need to go further. On March 15, and May 24, we were 1.5 million people around the world, mainly young people, marching together. It was the largest mobilization ever to fight climate change. But now think about this. 1.5 million is the number of French people gathered on the Champs-Élysées only when we won the World Cup in 1988. On the Champs-Élysées only. So it's big, but it's not big enough. We need to go a lot further. We need to be tens of thousands, millions. Now, we need NGOs, we need citizens of all kinds, we need local politicians, we need business holders, old and young, black and whites, from the left and from the right, from Poland to the UK, to gather and defend the only thing that matters, the survival of life on this planet. To some people, it might sound exaggerated, but that's what is happening. Scientists now tell us that if we keep on going that way, the temperature on the Earth will be 5 degrees higher at the end of the century, and it could be worse. So what does it mean? It means that in many countries it will be uninhabitable because it will just be too hot out there. It means our harvest will go down of 50% globally, and we won't be able to feed everyone.
It means hundreds of million people will move or die. Countries might fight with each other to control natural resources such as water. In 2009, the director of the Potsdam Institute for Climate Impact Research, Hans-Joachim Schellhuber, estimated that 1 billion people only could live on a planet 5 degrees warmer than today. And I'm talking about human beings only. These last 40 years, we lost 60% of the mammals population. Wild animals represent only 5% of all mammals on the planet. Insects are disappearing 8 times faster. Since insects die, birds die. Because they don't have enough to eat. And talking about eating, we kill every year 115 billion animals to feed ourselves. To grow their food, we cut 15 billion trees every year, and we replant only 1 billion. In 2050, some scientists think that there is going to be more plastic than fish into the ocean. So this has to stop. And sadly, since a lot of people seem to be more interested by Kim Kardashian on Instagram, we need to be louder. And most of all, we need a strategy. We need at the same time to stop climate to warm up and nature to be destroyed. For that, marching is a first step. Civil disobedience is another. Many friends of ours are today near Köln with Ende Gelände to occupy a coal mine. That is needed. We need to put our bodies between machines and nature. Using the law is another strategy. In Netherlands, Urgenda won the climate case against the Dutch government, forcing it to take more measures against climate change. In France, 2.2 million people signed the petition to take the French government to court. Voting is another strategy. Many of you will start voting very soon, and many others already can. So we need to make that very clear. Any politicians that will not commit to save life on this planet, to radically cut off green gas emission, to deeply transform our economics models, to stop this infinite growth madness, will not get our vote. People before profit, planet before profit. And if there is no politicians committed to do so, we need to replace them. But stopping the disaster is not enough. We also need to get prepared to cushion the shocks we are going to experience in the future. And we are already beyond some tipping points. So we strongly need to build resilience on our territories, to produce as much food, as much renewable energy as possible where we live, to develop strong local economies, to live with less. And there is a last thing we need to do, building another future. We cannot mobilize millions of people if we don't tell them where we want to go. We need to have a new horizon, a new vision, a new narrative of the future. Three years ago, I did a movie with an actress called Mélanie Laurent. We did a movie called Tomorrow. We traveled 10 countries and we tried to find some of the best solutions we already know, because we know them. And we wanted to show what the world could look like if we could put together some of these best solutions and implement them right now. This movie was a real success in France. More than 1 million people saw it. it was released in Germany, it was released in 30 countries. We need many more movies like that. We need many more novels like that, trying to imagine what the future could look like. And you all can be part of this. Refuse to do a bullshit job. Refuse to be part of a system that destroys our planet, where you are defined by the money you make and the thing you can buy. We need new farmers doing permaculture, new engineers to invent how to consume less energy and to make it fully renewable, new teachers, new political leaders, new economists, new bakers, new carpenters. Find what you love. What is your talent? What makes you get up every morning? What you can give to the world to make it a better place. And do it. The revolution starts here. We are the immune system of this planet. We are here to defend the more fragile. We are here to defend whales, lions, worms and birds. We are here to defend oaks, birch and palm trees. We are here to defend the poor and the children. We are here to let them live on a living planet. We are here so that everyone can live freely. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. So, when you know Ende Gelände, what do they want?
Climate justice.
And when do they want it?
Now.
And what do you want?
Climate justice.
And when do you want it?
Now.
Are you also ready to jump? Okay. Wer nicht hüpft, der ist für Kohle, hey! Hey! Wer nicht hüpft, der ist für Kohle, hey! Hey! Wer nicht hüpft, der ist für Kohle, hey! Hey! Wer nicht hüpft, der ist für Kohle, hey! Hey! Everyone! Der ist für Kohle, hey! Hey! Wer nicht hüpft, der ist für Kohle, hey! Hey! Wer nicht hüpft, der ist für Kohle, hey! Hey! Wer nicht hüpft, der ist für Kohle, hey! You do it very well. I like it. So, another chant in English. We are unstoppable.
Another world is possible.
We are unstoppable.
Another world is possible.
We are unstoppable.
Another world is possible. We are
Unstoppable. Another world is possible. We are unstoppable. Another world is possible.
We are unstoppable. Another world is possible.
At least, what do we want?
Climate justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
So, a big applause for Ende Gelände.
You are so many thousands of people right here in Aachen, and there's 4,000 activists from Ende Gelände on their way to the coal pits right now to block the coal, to block the infrastructure. There's even more thousands continuing the blockade tomorrow. My name is Zina, and I'm here with Milan for Ende Gelände. We believe, just like you, something's going wrong so fundamentally, it's legitimate to cross some lines, to make some illegal action as well, because our protest is legitimate. This is civil disobedience. Civil disobedience means maybe not legal, but sure as hell legitimate, no matter what the police in Aachen says. We are fighting together for climate justice. Fridays for Future, Ende Gelände, alle Dörfer bleiben, all the NGOs. We are in solidarity with each other. You, Fridays for Future, have created an immense hype all over the world. And we are so happy and proud to work with you. You gave me hope back that maybe we can still prevent the climate crisis from becoming even worse. The climate crisis is a system crisis. The capitalist system with growth, with no end, is not possible on a planet with resources that end. If we just think faster, bigger, more, we are destroying ourselves and our planet. I believe we can still build a world where the interests of people matter more than the interests of RWE or other companies, where it's not about profit all the time. And how? We must democratize the fossil resources. It's a scandal that private companies alone can decide what happens with the coal and with the oil. We, the people, we must have the right to decide what's happening with the fossil fuels all over the world, to keep it in the ground. This economic system, capitalism, is not democratic. We must create a democratic economic system. We are not willing to just watch and lie back while our planet and our future is destroyed for the interests of private companies. We are taking the future in our own hands because the climate crisis is here right now, even stronger in the global south than here. So we are civilly disobedient, we are blocking the coal mines, we are blocking the coal infrastructure to have a strong symbol. We are taking the future into our own hands, together with you.
Hey people, good to see you. I'm Milan, I'm also from Ende Gelände, and I'm here for a message of greeting from the Pacific Climate Warriors. The Pacific Climate Warriors are fighting against their drowning islands in the Pacific. In 2017, at the UN Climate Conference, the Pacific Climate Warriors have been here with a delegation, and they did a ceremony in one of the villages next to the coal mine. Now the village, it's called Mannheim, it's nearly destroyed. And the visit of the Pacific Climate Warriors was a sign of hope for me and a lot of people in the climate justice movement, because it shows us that we stay together in solidarity. At the end of their visit, one of them, his name is Billy, gave me a conch, and he told me the following story about the conch. He told me in the past, when one of their villages in the Pacific get affected from other warriors, one of them blow the conch to gather all the warriors together to protect the village. And he gave me this conch, and he told me, when we stay alone, when we feel alone at the movement here, we can blow the conch, and all the warriors, the Pacific Climate Warriors, but also all the warriors around the world, come together and stay with us in solidarity. Just today, they wrote me a message of greetings for you, the Pacific Climate Warriors. He wrote, "The conch is blown in the Pacific to call people together. And by blowing the conch today, you are calling all of us, your Pacific Climate Warriors, brothers and sisters to stand with you. We see you. We stand with you in solidarity from across the seas, and we are grateful. Take our mantra. We are not drowning. We are fighting with you from the Pacific Climate Warriors. And now, I want to blow the conch, because we are in a climate crisis and we have to stand together in solidarity around the world. And when I blow the conch, just imagine all the people around the world who stay to protect our future, the future of the next generations.
Ist eine richtig nice Band, sie heißt Mama. Aber lasst euch selbst überraschen. Woo!
Hier töten sie ihre Idole, siehst du, da rennen sie schon, die Kinder der Revolution. Sie fordern ein Opfer, gib ihnen das Opfer, die Bretter bedeuten nicht wirklich die Welt, wir sind die Götter und stürzen uns selbst, wir kriegen vor dem brennenden Thron.
Wir werden jetzt zurückgehen.
Es sind so viele Leute da. Wir gehen jetzt Richtung Bahnhof und bereiten das Video für euch vor. Lucy ist schon leider ein bisschen müde, Nea ist noch fresh, ruht sich kurz aus.
Ich darf das Video schneiden.
Und genau, Elias schneidet jetzt mit mir das Video und wir sehen uns dann. Peace.
Ups. Kommt auch mit das Foto.
Wir fahren jetzt nach Mönchengladbach nach Hause und habt ihr Lust auf ein kleines Interview?
Ja, klar.
Ja, voll geil. Okay, wie fandet ihr es heute?
Das war geil, das war geil, das war geil.